Hi, my name is Diya. I'm from ME221 and I'm also a part-time student librarian at the IMU library. So today, I'm going to be reviewing a medical textbook that's titled Sherris and Ryan's Medical Microbiology, and this is the 8th edition. Okay, so this book or this ebook is available on Access Medicine, which is one of the many databases that IMU has subscribed to. So the way you would access this book is via the IMU library portal. You go to Access Medicine, and then once you get to Access Medicine, you type in the title of the book, and it will immediately take you to this page. Okay, so now that we're here, let me just show you what um, or let you know a little bit about this book in the sense that what kind of chapters that they have, how many parts, what are the additional features of the book, and other things like that. Okay, so this book is the author of this book is Kenneth J. Ryan, and it's consists of 5 parts. Okay, and each part consists of multiple chapters, like as you can see over here. So the first part is on infection. It is essentially more of an overview or an introduction to microbiology and its effects on the human body. So microorganisms cause infection, and the first chapter explains to you a little bit about the concepts behind this. And then when there's infection in the human body, this happens because of an immune response. So what the body does in response to infection by the microorganism, that will be explained in chapter 2. And then chapter 3, how do you prevent this, is through sterilization, disinfection, and infection control. And then chapter 4 explains about laboratory diagnosis and how you would detect certain viruses or bacteria, and how you would do that based on clinical investigations. And then chapter 5 with emerging and re-emerging of infectious disease. So part 2 is on pathogenic viruses, and so you'll have one chapter on each different group of viruses. For example, you have a chapter on respiratory viruses, mumps, measles, rubella. Then you have pox viruses, enteroviruses, hepatitis viruses, herpes viruses. So it goes on and on. And then part 3 focuses on pathogenic bacteria. Part 4 is on fungi, and part 5 is on parasites. So this is how the book is structured. It's divided into different types of microorganisms, and then they go into subtypes, and then they explain to you the features of these microorganisms and how they cause disease in the body, their pathogenesis, epidemiology, and things like that. Okay, so just to show you what I'm talking about, let's go into, for example, enteroviruses. So if you click on this link, it's going to take you to this page, chapter 12, enteroviruses. So this is what it looks like. At first, you get a small overview of the chapter. And then it starts by giving you the morphology and biologic features of enteroviruses. They tell you what exactly is meant for enteroviruses. It consists of polioviruses, Coxsackie viruses, enteroviruses, and many other kinds. Okay? And to supplement the information that we're giving you in the text, they also give you figures, a lot of details, and a lot of explanation at the top, just to reinforce what they're trying to explain to you about paraviruses. And then throughout the chapter, you're also going to see these blue boxes with, very important information, basically the key takeaways from the section that we read before now. And apart from these notes, there are also questions in between the chapter. So once you read a certain part, they give you a question to, stimulate your mind and just really make sure that you are able to connect what you're learning to how to apply it in, questions, clinical scenarios, and things like that. So, for example, this question is given here: why are enteroviruses resistant to detergents and disinfectants despite being simple naked capsid viruses? So they give you the question, they let you think about it a little bit, come up with their answer, and then they go through like more information over here. They give you like a table on enteroviruses, more notes, a little bit more information, and then once you come down here, they give you the answer. So the answer for that question is, unlike enveloped viruses, lipid membranes are easily manipulated to solvent these disinfectants, etc., etc. So yeah, I thought that was one of the features of this book that's incredibly useful, because as a student, we tend to forget that learning doesn't always have to be just reading from the textbook. You can also learn by doing questions, by testing what you learn, by actively recalling what you learned. And there are so many other ways to learn and, really make sure that you retain information other than just passively reading from the textbook. So this book really supports that concept, in the sense that it gives you questions and gives you notes here and there, and make sure that you don't get too bored when you're studying from this book. So yeah, this then they give you a bit of information about pathogenesis and then immunity, and then to supplement whatever they're explaining to you here, they also give you a figure and statistics and basically a lot of other information. And then there's a section on clinical aspects. So how you diagnose a patient that is suffering from this disease caused by this specific kind of enterovirus. Then the treatment and prevention, of course. So that encompasses like one section of this chapter. We move on to the next group of viruses. Okay, so that is essentially how this book is structured. And then when you go back to the top here, okay, let me give you a little bit more information about the features that are available in this ebook. So, like I showed you just now, there are many figures that they use to explain to you, the exact content of, viruses and whatever kind of microorganism that they're explaining about in the book. So this is to supplement that kind of information. And so what is really, I think really helpful, is that in this book, they allow you to, go to, this section over here where you can see only the figures. So for example, you already studied and now you want to do a revision just before your exam, you can just, click on this tab over here, and then it will show you all the figures that they've used in this specific chapter. And yeah, it basically cuts down on your revision time, because most likely you'll be able to look at the figure and then remember what you learned in regards to this picture. And if that's that's not enough for you, they also give you some context at the top of the figure. They explain to you what exactly you're looking at, and this should be sufficient for very comprehensive and efficient revision. And yeah, so there are other features where you can view this image in full size if you like. You can also star this image so that you can come back to it later. And if you want, you can download this image as a slide in the version of PowerPoint. So then you can compile many different slides and create a whole presentation just for yourself that consists of only images from this textbook. So that would be very helpful in last minute revision and things like that. And the same thing is for tables. They give you this is where you can find all the tables that they've used in this chapter for enteroviruses. Yeah, if you click view table, it will take you to this page where you can look at the entire table, zoom in. And yeah, so this table specifically is on the classes of viruses and the number of serotypes. Okay, so apart from that, some other features of this ebook is that, okay, on top here, when you click on this button, they show you the multiple sections of this book. So you can just click on it. Let's say you want to see group characteristics, it will take you to the section immediately. You don't have to waste a few minutes scrolling to the bottom and looking for this. So it really cuts down on revision time that way. And okay, other than that, you can also download this chapter as a PDF if you'd like to highlight, you'd like to annotate, write down notes in the margin, things like that. You can download this chapter as a PDF. Other than that, you can also share this book through all these different platforms. If you, let's say, want to suggest or recommend this book to any of your friends who are in the same course or who would like to learn about enteroviruses. And also, if you use this book or information from this book in a presentation or an assignment, you need to cite it, you can obtain the citations from here. They give you in different formats. SPM, it's really easy. All you have to do is just copy and paste this into your. And then the search tab obviously is very helpful because if you are looking for, a specific kind of virus and you'd like to just learn about that type of virus, then you can just type the name of the virus into the search bar. They will take you to the exact section of the book where they explain about the virus, its biologic features, treatment and prevention, diagnosis, all of that on that specific. And then, of course, if you sign up with an account, if you sign up for an account with Access Medicine, you'll be able to annotate and highlight on this book itself. So on this version of it, you can annotate and you can highlight and you can bring it. This book converts to an audiobook as well. So if you click on listen, it will start to read out the book to you. And then you can rewind 5 seconds, you can go ahead 5 seconds, adjust the volume, the speed, faster, slower, things like that. And there are other features as well. If you click on this button, you can enlarge the text if you like. If you want to read your textbook in text mode, to have a very clean interface and to remove any of the additional distractions like on the side of the page, above the page. You can go to text mode and, just study this way. I think you maximize your focus when you look at this in text mode. And then, another thing that I thought was really helpful is page mask, where you can wherever you move the cursor, it sort of projects a mask on the page. So there's only one area of focus or one line of focus, and then the rest is a little bit dimmer. So it really helps you focus on each sentence as you're going along. And if you think this is too narrow and you'd like to focus on maybe a paragraph at a time or 4 or 5 sentences at a time, you can always increase the width. Or you can decrease the width. So it's really very flexible and it's really up to you how you want to use it. Okay, apart from that, so once you've, let's say, revised this entire chapter of enteroviruses, now you're ready to test yourself and you want to check if you really understood everything that you've learned, right? So then you go back out to the front part, you click on go to cases or go to review questions. It will take you to this page. So you can see that we've prepared many different questions and case-based scenarios for each subtype of microorganisms. So you have viruses, you have bacteria, and you have fungi. Under each of these headings, we have cases on specific kinds of bacteria, like Mycobacteria, Mycoplasma, Staphylococci, all of these. And then, for viruses, for example, if you want to do a case of enteroviruses, because that's the chapter that you just studied, you click on this, it will take you to this case over here. So they give you a case, you read through the case, this 2-year-old on summer visit and things like that, and then you go to the quiz. So they will give you about 3 questions, and then you can do the questions and also review the answer. So this is another feature of this book that I thought was really helpful because it definitely helps to test the knowledge and reinforce what we've learned from the book. Okay, so that's about it for my review. In conclusion, I'd just like to say that this book is really, really helpful for microbiology. It's a very wide topic, but this book, the way they break it down in the way that this book is structured and organized, it makes it really easy to learn about a specific kind of bacteria or virus at a time, learn about all the different components, the clinical aspects of it, the signs and symptoms you have to look out for, the treatment and the prevention, and then where this virus is normally found, the epidemiology aspect of it. The way they structure their book is really very helpful because it gives you a very, I would say, comprehensive understanding of each kind of each. And of course, they prepare cases and questions for you to really reinforce your understanding. So, yeah, that's it for my book review. Thank you so much for watching. And, enjoy the book.